go. All right, we're gonna do this neckline, even though I have done it so many times, and I'm just gonna, the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to share a little bit of a story with you as well. And whilst we're doing the story, we're gonna do the neckline also. This net dress, which I'm making as a panelled galidar dress, well no, a princess cut dress, and I've made several of these, so I don't think I really need to go into in depth of the making of this. Basically what I've done is sewn the panels together and stitched it at the shoulders, including the lining, and now I'm gonna attach the neckline. Okay, I'm very short on time, and I'll be leaving for Pakistan on Wednesday. Now, even though I'm so short on time, I'm absolutely inundated with requests of doing this and doing that for customers, and it's almost like, you know, I'm leaving the world, and you know, everybody's getting panicky. You have to do mine before you go, and I feel a little bit frustrated that everybody's taking me for, you know, granted, and it's like, no, you have to do mine. Forget your own, you have to do mine. And with this, I remember a wonderful talk that I've just attended. Yesterday night we went to Stories of the Prophets, Father of Two Nations, a lecture given by Brother Noman Ali Khan. And you know what, I was actually fretting that I was going to miss that, and I'm fanatically obsessed with his talks. Now luckily my nephew actually bought me a ticket, and it was wonderful to go to the event, and it was an absolutely amazing lecture. If you've not listened to Brother Noman Ali Khan, then you know what, you really need to search him out and take life lessons from him. Anyway, we were having this chat with him during a break, and he's such a wonderful person, you know, very easygoing and relaxed and down to earth. So we were having this chat with him, and this one lady went up to him, and she was from Leeds, and this event actually took place near Manchester in Oldham. And Oldham is actually a town where I grew up, so I had close affiliations with Oldham, even though I'm not exactly a big fan of Oldham. Since I moved from there a very long time ago, I actually hardly ever visit. Anyway, this event took place in Oldham, and we were there, and she was from Leeds, and she was requesting him to come and do a talk in Leeds, and he's a very busy person obviously, and you know, time schedules and fitting in, coming over from America, I know he's in London today, is very difficult. So she's there insisting, and he's talking to us, and he says, what can I do? I'm so busy, and it's not up to me. And he's trying to obviously make the excuses that he can't come to Leeds, but she's not taking a no for an answer. And what he ends up saying is, I'm just a one small person, and the world is so big. And basically that's what I have to turn around and say to my customers, that look, I'm a human being, I'm only one person, and I can't do everything. But at the moment, you know, it's like I have to do, I've been working extremely hard, and I get a bit of a tension in my left arm. My circulation on my left arm isn't so good, and yesterday whilst I was sat at the lecture, it was the most excruciating pain I can, you know, I can't even begin to describe. And my hand becomes, you probably heard me talk about this, I go through phases. Sometimes it's perfectly okay, and sometimes I go through this you know, really bad. I mean, like at the moment, even though it's beautiful weather, I've got the heat on full and my hand is frozen cold, you know, this, especially the left one, it almost like, it's like blue, that, you know, it's that cold. Anyway, so even though I'm going through this painful episode with my arm, nobody wants to hear that. And it's like, oh no, you have to do like this dress. The friend of mine who's given me this, granted she gave it me several months ago and I never got around to sewing it, but even at the time she was giving it me, I was saying to her that, look, I haven't got time anymore, because obviously my classes take precedence over everything else, and I feel sad that, you know, during these holidays I've not really pulled my weight and everything that I was supposed to do. Instead, I'm making preparations for going to Pakistan, which should be secondary to my, you know, coming exams. But this is the sad reality, that everybody takes us for granted and you know, wants things that sometimes you can't, and you should be worrying about number one. Anyway, that's it was a wonderful quote by him, that I'm just an insignificant small person and the world is so big. And that is so true. You know, there is so much to be done, and basically there is not enough hours in the day and we're just small insignificant beings that will come and leave this world, and what are we going to take? And the talk was about the legacy of Ibrahim. Now, my point on this is that if you've not ever heard a talk by Nouman Ali Khan, then I would strongly encourage you to go and watch a couple of his videos and take heed from them and lessons, because he talks very down to earth, and his take on life is so realistic that, you know, you'll come out with some wonderful gems. Anyway, whilst I've been talking, what I've done is I've measured and taken away the inner portion of where I'm going to attach this neckline. And whilst I've got this laid out, I'm going to lay out straight, because I cut the lining a little bit wider than the dress itself, so I'm going to trim that down to size as well. So lay it out evenly. I think I was too busy. Now, you know, you sort of, you know, like people like us, right? When I'm obviously trying to do 2 jobs, and I'm not reading off script or anything. Obviously, I'm just talking away, whatever. So I do sometimes go off tangent and, you know, off the topic, and start talking about something else. So you will have to bear with me on that. But the lessons that we're sort of trying to give are life lessons, you know, whether you're taking those little bit of heed advice from me, or, you know, I'm an insignificant nobody, and for someone to come online and take advice and, you know, my lessons seriously, then alhamdulillah, that's a blessing for me. Because, you know, if you benefit something from what I have said or what I have taught, then alhamdulillah, that's a sadaqah jari for me. And I do hope that you will remember me, at least in your du'as, because we are the legacy of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and I would strongly urge you to look up the prayer of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. Basically, the prayer of Ibrahim alayhi salam talks about asking for forgiveness for your Ahl and Khandan. Okay, I'm not going to make sense on this, because obviously I'm not educated enough to actually give guidance on that as yet. inshallah. Anyway, that's the cut up neckline. What we're going to do first of all is we're going to stitch all around this so that the two are tacked down together, and then we're going to take the made up neckline, wherever it's gone, which I've seemed to have gone and misplaced. Okay, so this is the trim for the bottom, and what I'm going to be doing, I'll just quickly show you. Lying in front of me, I've lined this with some black fabric, and then tacked the lace down on both the sides so the lace is fixed, and this bit I've got just for the stitching. So the way we're going to stitch this is we're going to finish off the neckline. It's going to come around like this and going to get fixed to the dress, but before we go on to fixing it to the dress, we're going to close just a portion of this on the inside. So I'm going to use the same net with a bit of lining underneath and close that a portion of the neck off, and then also close it off from the bottom, and take this, lay it, once that is stitched down, lay it in the center. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a stitching from the corner of where that seam is, just on the outer side of that seam, to the outer side of this seam, making sure that is central. Then we're going to cut into both of those corners, and as we cut right into the corner, we can pivot the fabric around and stitch all around, you know, around this part, attaching it down all the way, and then starting again, stopping there, starting again there, and working back upwards and finishing off at the back again. So I hope the video proves beneficial for you and you learn something from it, and inshallah I will now see you with the finished dress and hopefully share the result with you.